I don't want to burn in it. So I want to pray and worship the way they say, Mr. Brown, but you see how I worship? You just saw me doing my salat. But you don't do that. He said, but because I'm not a Muslim. I said, okay, fine, let's find out. Abraham is the father of all the messengers and prophets. How did he pray? I asked Mr. Brown. He doesn't know. You see, it's painful that these guys are just priests and talking, but they don't know deep. So I said, how did Abraham pray according to your book, which is on there? Bring the book. How did Abraham pray? Open the book of Genesis 17 verse 3. It says, and Abraham went further and fell on his face and he prayed to the Lord of the Most High. What did the Bible say? Abraham fell on his face. He prayed to the Lord of the Most High. That's Abraham. Put him aside. So you see, I'm doing what he did. How did Moses pray? Book of Exodus 41 verse 30. It reads, and Moses and Aaron and the son of Aaron, Eleazar, put water at the entrance of the tabernacle, and they washed their hands and their feet as the Lord have commanded them. And they went into the congregation and they fell with their face to the ground and they did worship the Lord. I say, Mr. Brown, you see how Moses worshiped? Just looking at me. He couldn't say anything. After Moses, who came? After Moses, Joshua came. So Joshua, or Joshua, book of Joshua, chapter 4, verse 15, it says, and Joshua, the man of the Lord, removed the shoe from his feet and went little further and fell with his face to the ground, and he spoke to the Lord. Removed the shoe from his feet, went further and fell with his face to the ground. In the book of Jehoshaphat, chapter 18, verse 20, King Jehoshaphat and the whole Judean peninsula bowed down with their head to the ground, and they did worship the Lord. In the book of Nehemiah, chapter 8, verse 4, it reads, and Ezra, the scribe, was in front of the congregation, and behind him stood people, left on the right, behind him. For Ezra was on a pulpit made for worshiping, and he was in front of the congregation and those who were standing behind him. And Ezra opened the book of the Lord, and he praised the Lord and praised the Lord. And all those behind him stood up and they said, amen, amen. And they lift up their hand and they bowed down and put their face to the ground and worshiped the Lord. I said, Mr. Brown, did you see Jumu'ah prayers here in your book? He said, well, Mr. Mohammed, you just quoting the Old Testament. We live in the new era. I said, okay, let's go see. How did the Master himself worship? Book of Matthew 26:39. It reads, and Jesus went little further, and he fell on his face to the ground, and he prayed, and he worshipped. And he said, oh my Father, let this cup pass away from me, not as I will, but as thou will. In the book of Mark, chapter 14, verse 34, and Jesus said, Abba, Abba, I know that all things are possible with thee. Please remove this cup away from me. In the book of Luke 22:39, and Jesus said, what did he say? And Jesus said, what did he say? Luke 22:39. And Jesus, being in a spirit, he looked towards heaven and he prayed, and the blood is coming out of his face. And he went and fell with his face to the ground and he worshipped the Lord. I say, Mr. Brown, did you see how Jesus Christ prayed? And you calling me a non-believer? Very close to Jesus? I'm telling you, Mr. Brown, if Jesus Christ walked around here right now, if he see me, he will come to me and say, Salaam alaikum. He wouldn't come to you because look at the way you dress. Look at the way I'm dressed. And I was in the long gap too when I was in the prison. I said, if Jesus walked